Archimedes' principle is a fundamental principle in physics that relates to buoyancy and the behavior of objects immersed in fluids. It was discovered by the ancient Greek mathematician and scientist Archimedes. Archimedes' principle states that when an object is submerged in a fluid, it experiences an upward buoyant force equal to the weight of the fluid it displaces. In other words, the buoyant force exerted on an object is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. This principle can be understood by considering the forces acting on an object submerged in a fluid. The object experiences a downward force due to its weight, which can be thought of as the force of gravity acting on it. At the same time, the fluid exerts an upward force on the object, called the buoyant force. This principle has many practical applications. Applications of Archimedes' principle. Archimedes' principle has many practical applications in a variety of fields. By understanding the principles of buoyancy and fluid dynamics, engineers and scientists can design more effective and efficient systems and devices. Some of the notable applications of Archimedes' principle are: diving. Archimedes' principle is important in the sport of diving. Divers use weights and buoyancy compensators to control their buoyancy and remain at a desired depth. Understanding the principles of buoyancy is essential for safe and effective diving. Hot air balloons. Archimedes' principle is also used in the design and operation of hot air balloons. By heating the air inside the balloon, the air becomes less dense than the surrounding air and creates a buoyant force that lifts the balloon into the air. Density measurements. Archimedes' principle is used to determine the density of solid objects. By measuring the weight of an object in air and then in water, the volume of water displaced can be calculated, allowing for the calculation of the object's density. This technique will give more accurate results, especially for complex shapes and porous materials. Oil drilling. Archimedes' principle is used in the drilling of oil wells. By injecting a fluid with a density higher than the oil is displaced upward, allowing it to be pumped to the surface. Design of ships and submarines. The principle of buoyancy is used extensively in the design and construction of ships and submarines. The shipbuilders use this principle to calculate the buoyant force acting on the ship's hull and to determine its stability and safety while at sea. Water treatment. Archimedes' principle is used in water treatment plants to separate solids from liquids. This is done by introducing a coagulating agent into the water, which causes the suspended solids to clump together and settle at the bottom of the tank, leaving the clear water above. Food industry. Archimedes' principle is used in the food industry to measure the fat content in milk, cheese, and other dairy products. The density of the fat in the milk can be measured using Archimedes' principle, and this information is used to determine the fat content.